Got more parts in, a lot more parts in today. I went back to Napa because they did forget my engine mounts, which I installed. I'll show you here in a minute. Aside from that, I got the control arm bushings and the bump stops for the control arms. But the biggest package that I got today was from Brothers Trucks. It's like LMC truck for those who are familiar with LMC. They literally have every single part for these old vehicles that you could possibly need during a restoration process. So let me show you what I got. And this is going to take a lot of work because one, I'm not a mechanic, first off, and secondly, I'm definitely not an electrician. But this is what we got. Oh, we got a lot. So this is a complete wiring harness that I bought for this truck. I don't even know where to start, honestly. So again, it's a complete plug-and-play system. We'll dig through this box so I can kind of show you how many packages there are, but just a brief overview. We have a dash harness kit, we have an instrument cluster kit, an engine kit, front light kit, rear body kit, courtesy light kit, alternator and main connection kit. So every piece of wire that's in that truck will essentially be replaced by me and it's in this box right here. It's going to take a lot of time, and these are the recommended this is a recommended order, by the way, starting with the dash kit and working your way down. And I'm going to show you exactly why I did this. Hey buddy, Bo, get back in here. Come on, bud, let's go, get in here. All right, so I'll show you why I did this, because one, I'm a perfectionist. If you know me, I'm very clean and OCD. Hey, you stay. And these wires are beyond old. The last thing I want to do, I'll show you the engine mounts, by the way. Squirrel. All right, so there's the new engine mounts that I installed. They look a little better than the old ones. So here's the old wires right here. This is the wire loom, part of the wire loom. So I don't know if you could tell, but look how old these wires are. They're essentially all soldered together, if you can see right there at the top. So the last thing that I want to do is restore this entire truck and then it catch on fire, knock on wood. So in order for us to, or for me, to make a complete restoration out of this truck, I want to make sure that I have the basics down. And part of it is to do this complete rewire of the truck. So I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to start this because it's going to take quite a bit of time, but you know, the engine's out of it. I'm about to have the transmission out, more than likely. You know, time goes by too fast, so I probably won't end up having it out until tomorrow or Saturday with work, and you know, there's just so much stuff going on right now. So it's going to be a lot easier, obviously, having the engine out and the transmission out. So I'll be starting on this. Thankfully, you know, it's just it starts with the dash kit. So, you know, I'll make my way to that first. But I'm still hoping to have the engine in it this weekend. But, you know, even though I get the engine in it, I'm not going to be able to drive it until I get the transmission out to replace all of the seals and the pan gasket. Just because it leaks transmission fluid. So I don't want to get the new engine in, bolt everything up, and then later on have to take the transmission out because I didn't replace the seals when I should have. So that's kind of my priority right now. I also did start sanding, and I painted the sway bar from my previous video. If you didn't see it, go look at it. But I sanded it, painted it black. I have to get some more hardware because two of the bolts actually stripped out, or I had to cut one of them in half actually because they were froze. So I have to get new bolts before I can put the sway bar back on, but I will show you what it looks like. Watch out, Cooper. So here is the sway bar. It looks a little better. So I grinded it completely down to metal. And I used the roll bar and chassis black paint. I put 2 coats on it right now. I'll flip it over and see how the other side's looking and make sure that nothing's stuck to the bottom. But yeah, that's where we're at with this. Eventually, every single suspension component, such as the lower control arm and the upper control arms, are gonna be the same color. It's gonna be black. I'm gonna take it off, grind it down, paint it black. And I still have to change out the inner tie rods, the outer tie rods. I have to add the tie rod sleeve on them. I have to change out the pitman arm and the idler arm as well. So I still have quite a bit to do. But again, I just want to get the engine in this thing and get the transmission fixed. So that way it's at least drivable and not a sticking out like a sore thumb in this driveway. So that's where we're at. And I will keep y'all updated as I begin to get into this awesome stuff. So stay tuned.